Hey guys, I'm Tyler and welcome back. Today we are going to build a lumber rack with a window. This lumber rack is going to be made using 1/2-inch EMT conduit 2x4s, and I didn't put that window in, it was already there, and the wife convinced me to leave it there so that I can have a nice outdoor view while I'm working in the shop. I gotta say, it's actually pretty nice. I've had a lumber rack like this in the past that used 3/4-inch EMT conduit. Now, the outside diameter of this 1/2-inch EMT conduit is actually 3/4 of an inch, and I think the 3/4 was actually over an inch if I remember correctly. My thought with this is less is more. So I'm using thinner conduit, which will give me more room with all the conduit added up together. And I'm going to be using smaller shelves because I'm going to be using more shelves that have more easily accessible lumber. So the shelves will be thinner, less to stack on each shelf, but I'll have more shelves, resulting in more lumber that I can get to because you always know that the piece of lumber you need is on the bottom. So I'm hoping to eliminate this problem. I'm using the 2x4s as furring strips for this project because the studs of the wall are around 24 inches apart here, give or take, because it's been troublesome to try to find the studs. Putting the 2x4s in as furring strips resolves that problem quickly. Okay, so the, furling strips are on the wall now, and we're going to move on to the actual lumber rack part of the storage. It's going to be 48 inches tall. That gives me 48 inches for a full 4x8 piece of plywood down below. Who are you talking to over there?
A guy.
A guy?
Uh-huh.
What's his name?
Mr.
Huh?
Mr.
I'm tilting the drill press table to roughly 15 degrees so that it will give the EMT racks a slight upward angle to prevent the lumber from sliding off. It ends up that the lumber is pretty much flat, but nothing is going to be falling off this with that slight little taper. To mount all these vertical pieces, I am using 3-inch deck screws with a washer on it. The point of the washer is so that the screw head doesn't pull through the wood versus pull the wood tight up against the furring strips, which is what we want. I'm finding it a lot easier to pre-thread the screws in before trying to hold up the level and the board at the same time. In theory, the bottom of this board is perfectly level. So if I reference the bottom of all these vertical boards off of that, I should be good. That is the method I'm going to try. We'll see how it works. A little tip to help make processes like this go a little bit quicker for you, I actually put a mark on the table so that I can use the grinder to put a mark on the piece itself using that mark on the table so that I don't have to measure continuously each piece. To take the burr off the end of the conduit, I roll the piece of conduit underneath my hand and hold the angle grinder at a slight angle to take off those burrs. Well, there we are, lumber rack with a window in it. How many times do you see that? That is pretty awesome. So far, it looks like the less is more approach is working out pretty well, as we have more shelves that are a little bit thinner, and I'm thinking that'll allow me to get more lumber on there that's more easily accessible versus having to dig up piles constantly to get to that board that is always on the bottom. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please hammer that thumbs up button. Hit the subscribe button right over there so you never miss when I upload a new video. I'm DIYTyler. You guys have a good one.